Talk about how business is shaping up for Huhtamaki. We have Suresh Gupta, who's chairman of Huhtamaki PPL, joining in to discuss the business plans thereof. Great to have you on the show, Mr. Gupta. It's great that you could take out the time. Give us a broad overview on how you're looking at the adjustment in oil prices impacting your business. What are you factoring in overall on the change that we're seeing in the crude environment?
Okay, I'm going to talk on behalf of the sector really, rather than my company. So talking about the broader sector, whenever crude oil prices go up, obviously our raw materials which we use in packaging, the costs go up. And that puts pressure on margins till the customers accept the cost increase, which happens. Now this is normal in our business. And when crude prices go down, the opposite happens actually. So there is a time lag benefit. So on a longer time scale, these things sort of cancel each other out. So in the short term, of course, there is a bit of an impact, but it's not very significant or crippling, not at all.
Okay, fair point. What is the average execution cycle of your contracts and what's the rationale behind keeping them short term?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
No, I was just wanting
the
to
rationale
know
behind keeping
keeping your execution cycle short.
No, I'm talking about that. Typically crude prices have a cycle. They tend to go up, then they tend to go down. Now, after crude goes up, it has an impact on the downstream products. It finally has an impact on polymers, which we use. And it also, because of the increase in energy costs, has an impact on things like metals, etc., which we also use. By the time that actually goes into effect, and then before it starts going the other way, that period typically has not been longer than a year. So you may have a good year and it may be followed by a bad year on this crude oil price impact. But it typically is not by itself a very significant impact, and can be countered by normal things like innovations and alternative structures which minimize the impact. So it's there, but it's not very significant. But overall, our business, and particularly with an aspirational consumer and someone who wants something new and better and more convenient and safer, etc., then there is also a lot of innovation which drives the industry, and the innovators are the leaders in the industry. So when you innovate, then these kind of impacts of crude price, etc., become of much less importance.
Right. Mr. Gupta, give us your understanding on how companies such as yourself, and I'm taking this question from an industry perspective, try to hedge the risk of rising oil prices. I know you're saying 1 year is good, 1 year is bad, so there's a bit of a cyclical element to it. But we've seen oil prices bounce back from life lows, testing levels of close to 30 odd at one point in time, which was 2 years back. It's been a favorable environment, but when that environment changes, one can be caught on the wrong side. Is there a way in which you can mitigate that risk to ensure that it doesn't impact your margins?
Yes, Tanveer, there is a way to mitigate the risk, and that is innovation. You change the structures of packaging materials, but of course innovation is driven by the basic need to make a better product, a more convenient product for the consumer, a product which is safer, a packaging product which is safer to package the product which it packages. So that in any case keeps changing the price structures by itself. So what I'm trying to say is that while crude prices are a kind of a overriding driver of costs, so when prices go up, costs go up, prices go down, costs go down, and margins appropriately change in accordance with those changes. But there is a lot of innovative stuff happening which can mitigate. Of course, this doesn't happen instantaneously. There are time lags in all these actions. And therefore, let's say when the whole crude price regime is up, then at the end, probably there is a 6 month to 1 year impact on margins. It's not a very serious impact, but there is some impact. And then maybe the next year is better. So there is a degree of evening out. But as I said, the single biggest mitigator on these price changes is the impact of technological change, technical change, innovative change, NASP change. It's these innovations change the game. They're game changers. So there is a mitigation which is happening side by side.
Right. Mr. Gupta, just closing comments. Do you think the industry a year from now, I know you touched upon it just now, will be able to balance out the cost pressures which crude prices do bring about, be able to pass them on to customers, and in turn post growth as well in, say, the next 6 months to 1 year?
Oh, I'm quite confident of that. 1 year is is certainly a comfortable time period for these impacts to be mitigated, or the impact to disappear due to other moves, other game changers at play. I think the industry will certainly manage that. You've given a comfortable time period of a year to do that, so. That should be fine.
Right. Mr. Gupta, just one final word on how you're looking at, for the industry, the hurdles that came through because of GST implementation. And are they well past, are they well in the past, so to speak? And is pricing and demand now having a more direct correlation?
Yes, the GST, the negative impacts of the GST have largely receded, but there still is. It's very clear there are still inefficiencies in the system. Our exporters in the industry are being particularly hit in terms of trying to get things refunded from the government. The system is taking its time to get efficient. But of course, this is much, much better than, let's say, the position 6 months ago, which was horrendous. So I think we have taken GST in our stride, speaking broadly, as of today, which is July.
Right.
Tanveer, I thought you were going to ask me about this noise on the plastic waste management situation.
No, of course, that's a very, very important issue, and we would love to have your opinion on the same, sir.
See, my opinion is quite straightforward. I think in our country we have made a little bit of noise here and there on this for the last few years, but really it's been a neglected area. The entire concept of waste management, that's not just plastic. I mean, it's much more than plastic. But I'm very happy to see that this has right now taken almost the center stage in the media noise being made. Because we really have to do something about our overall environmental pollution, etc. And I'm extremely keen that, cool, calm, common sense is applied to the technological actions which need to be taken in a slow, steady well thought out manner, and not knee-jerk things which don't do the right impact, and they create in the short term disasters actually. But I'm very happy on the noise being made. The path forward is very clear what should be. The only thing is that with so many diverse vested interests, and I'm sorry to say quite a severe ignorance in various parties in various areas about how things should go forward. Despite the fact that we have excellent examples around the world, for example, the Green Dot program in Germany, which was born about 40 years ago and became extremely successful within a short period of 10 to 15 years. And as we've all seen who have a little knowledge of Germany, it's a fabulous country from a waste management point of view. So we have all these great examples. We don't really have to reinvent the wheel too much, but we must do this. I'm very happy about the noise. In fact, I want even more noise, and I want things to go forward in a very systematic manner and not knee-jerk, half-baked, half-thought-out, which unfortunately seems to be characterizing some of the actions going on and some of the things being reported. But this is overdue. It's long overdue. We must do things very well.
Absolutely.
That's my comment. And it's easy. There's no rocket technology behind this. It's quite simple. It's all been done elsewhere in the world. We have excellent examples to follow.
Absolutely, Mr. Gupta. I second that, and my sentiments exactly. I think it's really the execution part which needs to be thought out a bit more. But Mr. Gupta, it's great to have you in the show. Thanks very much for having discussed your own perspective on what oil prices would mean for the business, as also give us your views on the plastic ban issue. Thanks very much once again for being so candid.
Thank you, Tanvi.